welcome to the No Spin News. Tuesday, April 30th, 2024. Stand up for your country. We have some new insights into the hush money trial of Donald Trump that I think you're going to find interesting. We're going to have that a little bit later on. I have to get the presidential politics out of the way first. And things are really getting crazy out there. That's the subject of this evening's Talking Points memo. So yesterday, former Speaker of the House, Nancy Pelosi, 84 years old, appeared on NBC, which, as we all know, is a wellness spa for liberals. Listen to this. Roll it.
But there are those who have real legitimate concerns about immigration, globalization, innovation, and what does that mean for their job and their family's future? And we have to address those concerns. And Joe Biden is doing that, created 9 million jobs in his term in office. Donald Trump has the worst record of job loss of any president. So we just have to make sure people know.
That was a global pandemic.
He had the worst record of any president. We've had other concerns in our country. If you want to be an apologist for Donald Trump, that may be your role, but it ain't mine. And he has the worst.
Anybody can accuse me of that.
Apologies, just corrected the record. So look, when you hear stuff like that, and here are the facts, in case Nancy Pelosi wants to jot them down, which of course she doesn't. So when COVID hit under Trump, unemployment was 4.4%. A pretty strong number, okay? Remember, Trump was elected because Barack Obama's economy was shaky when Obama left office. So 4.4 was a pretty good number. When Trump left office, unemployment was down to 6.3% from a whopping, was over 20 in COVID because everything shut down. And then when COVID kind of ebbed a little bit, companies were slow to take people back. As you know, everybody knows this. So 6.3 was a pretty good number compared to the rest of the world. Pelosi didn't care anything about that. She knows she could say anything on MSNBC, and she was caught by surprise, as you saw the expression in her face, by Ms. Turr, who ordinarily wouldn't do that. Now, the reason that Ms. Turr did it was because, very quietly, NBC executives, after the debacle of Ronna McDaniel, where the company took a mammoth hit, NBC News is at the lowest ebb ever since it's been on the air. Very quietly, they said to MSNBC, look, we know you're a bunch of left-wing loons, and loons watch you, and we make money from the lunacy. We know that. But you got to dial it back a little. You can't be just insane. Okay? And that's what Turr got that memo. So that's what she said. So now Turr can point to that, say, look, I'm not in whatever they say. That's why it happened. But Pelosi was like, whoa, wait, this is MSNBC. I'm never challenged here. I can say whatever I want to say. So Pelosi is a propagandist, period. She has no credibility. Anybody who listens to her is listening because they like what she has to say. Pelosi on October 18th, 2022, basically said that Biden is doing a spectacular job. Well, at that point, inflation for necessities was at 30%. At that point, the border was open, still is. It's like you look at it and go, that's a spectacular job. But it doesn't really matter in that world, okay? So they'll say anything, and they get away with it. But they didn't get away with it this time. So when you are analyzing the presidential race, you've got to take the media out of it. And that's hard to do. It's never really been done. Americans depend on the media to get information about the race. But the information that you're getting is false more often than it's not false. And that's why I'm here. And that's the only reason I'm here, trust me. Because I will not do that, ever. And that's the memo. So Joe Biden didn't do anything today on behalf of the people, as, you know, now we're going 70% of his time is spent on raising money for his campaign and other Democrats, and he's in Delaware doing that today. It's a shame, but that's who he is. He's not engaged in public policy or problem solving at all. So Gallup, a polling agency that's, excuse me, fairly credible, does a poll, recent poll just out, 1,001 adults. They just couldn't do 1,000. I had to do 1,001. But they shouldn't be polling adults. That brings down the credibility of the Gallup poll. It should be registered voters, people who are engaged in the process, not people smoking crack in, some kind of commune someplace. Yeah, they can vote, but they don't know anything. So why poll them? So the very simple question, do you approve or disapprove of the way Joe Biden is handling his job? This is Gallup. Approve 38, disapprove 58, no opinion 4. Okay. Then Gallup lists the modern presidents at this time in their office, about 3.5 years, okay? Biden has the lowest approval rating of any of them, all right, at 38%. So George H.W. Bush, 42%, that was the recession. Barack Obama, 46%, Trump, 47%, Carter, 48%, W. Bush, 51%, that was 9/11, still resonating. Bill Clinton, 53%, good economy under Clinton. Nixon, 54%, Reagan, 54.5%, Eisenhower, a whopping 73%, because the Korean War was winding down and it was the 1950s. Okay, so Biden, in modern times, is the lowest job approval rating, period, of any of them. But Nancy Pelosi goes, she's spectacular. So the facts are the facts. CNN poll, I did this yesterday, I don't want to do it again, has Trump up by 6 over Biden. And when RFK and the others in the mix, Trump's up by 9. So I reported that last night on the No Spin News. And I also said, I don't believe the poll. And I don't. I think it's much tighter than that. But I could be wrong, right? Yeah. Joining us now is a guy who's rarely wrong, and he's a pretty precise man. His name is Doug Shon, coming to us from Miami. He's a Democrat political strategist. Has a book out you might check. 4 Presidents, Kennedy, Nixon, Biden, Trump, Leaders Who Changed History in Changing Times. Okay. So when you saw the CNN poll come out, you said to yourself, what?
I said, as I should, Bill O'Reilly's right again. That is, this is a very close race, Bill. It's a couple of points either way. I don't think Trump has a 6 or 9 point lead. I certainly don't think, given his approval rating, Biden has a lead at all. But basically, given where the race is, given where it was in 2020, this is a couple of point race either way, with the advantage to Trump for the reasons you cite, the low approval of Joe Biden.
Okay. Now, is anything likely to change? I have said, and I believe this to be true, it's just a gut guess. Something going to happen between now and the vote in November. Something fairly significant that's going to tilt it one way or the other. But say that doesn't happen. Is there anything that could shift public opinion, any policy, any kind of report financially that could really hurt Joe Biden at this point? Or is all the bad news out?
Very good question, one you don't get anywhere else, Bill. Here's what I think. Nothing significant happens. We're going to have a 1 or 2 point race as we did 4 years ago. What's most likely to happen? My guess is more bad news than good news. There could be an expanded conflict in the Middle East. We all hope that doesn't happen. If that does, the polling suggests it'll hurt Joe Biden. Inflation is stubbornly high. If it stays high, it will most likely hurt Joe Biden. If we get better economic news, lower inflation, lower prices at the pump and the grocery store, it will help Joe Biden, help him marginally, because prices are up over the term of his time in office. My best guess, close election, advantage Donald Trump for the reasons we've been discussing.
Okay, so the specter of a terror attack on the United States is high. And there's a lot of chatter, I understand. Remember, I wrote Killing the Killers. We have excellent sources in the U.S. intelligence apparatus. A lot of chatter, more chatter than usual, about some kind of attack within the United States by the Islamists. This, again, is speculation. Nobody wants it to happen. And if you do want it to happen out there, you're really, in emotional trouble. You don't want people to die, all right, so your political candidate wins one way or the other. But the heightened risk of a terror attack, if it happens, that's the end of Joe Biden because of the open border, correct?
I would think more likely than not it would. There would be a very short-term country rallying around the president if a tragedy like that happened. But Bill, to be candid, given what's happened since the pullout from Afghanistan, given what's happened in Ukraine, what's happening in the Middle East, I believe if it was more than 30 days before the election, something like that, a tragedy like that happened, it would redound to the benefit of Donald Trump and the GOP.
See, I disagree with you here. I don't think Biden's going to get people coalescing around him like Bush did, because the open border is on everybody's mind. And so many people on the terror watch list have been taken into custody. These are facts. Now, it would have to be, the authorities would have to find out who the terrorists were that did this act and where they came from, but that's not that hard to do. We knew it was al-Qaeda on 9/11 very, very quickly. We knew they were in Afghanistan, which is why we went into Afghanistan, because the Taliban wouldn't do anything about them. So if there's a terror attack, I think that just gives Trump a pass right into the White House. Let's go to falling food prices. If inflation comes down, Doug, and we only have 6 more months of reporting now, the restaurants I go to aren't dropping their prices. The grocery stores aren't dropping there. They're going to keep them there. Now, oil is a different matter. Gas prices are up and down. Now they're up 40 cents a gallon in my town in the last 3 weeks. Gas prices are up. And there's a million reasons, but food prices are going to remain stubbornly high, even if the inflation rate drops a little bit. And that's what the Democrats don't understand. They think they can sell this macroeconomic view. That's what Chris Cuomo does to me. I'll be on Cuomo tomorrow night for everybody who's interested in that on News Nation. But I say to myself, people aren't economists. They go in and they buy stuff that they used to spend 25% less. And that's not changing between now and November, Doug. It's not.
Well, 2 points, and I think you're ultimately right about that, Bill. First, people make judgments based on the totality of the experience in the last 4 years. And even if prices do come down, the net impact will be up 20, 22, 25%. Also, go back to 92, Bill. The third quarter, I think, and fourth quarter ultimately proved to be good news for George H.W. Bush, and Bill Clinton benefited at the polls because people's retrospective analysis of the economy was, as you suggested during your comments earlier, that we were in a recession, not coming out of one. So if I had to bet, as I tried to suggest, there's much more likelihood of bad news than good news for Joe Biden.
For Biden. I can't see any good news because he's never in the White House. He doesn't do anything. Blinken's over there trying to get some kind of deal, all right? And Biden didn't even... And the protesters, Doug, he puts out a mealy-mouthed statement today, Biden does. I'm going to do it tomorrow because I want to analyze the statement, which is what I do now. I don't just jump at it. We hammered him on Monday saying, where's Biden on the protests? Where is he? Nothing. Nothing. And now he's put out a statement, but I got to take a look at it. Final question for you. When you come on with your analysis with me and other media people, and you tell the truth, because you do, and that's why we have you on here, Do your Democrat friends get mad at you?
Oh, yes.
Do they?
mean, Bill, we live in a country where sadly your talking points, your memo, are correct. It is a totally polarized world where what you say and what you believe represent a theology rather than analysis or considered reflection. The great benefit of coming on with you is you tell the truth as you know it. We disagree as adults, and I believe from the feedback I get from your viewers, they benefit greatly from the uniqueness of your broadcast.
Yeah, I hope so. I mean, that's why we're here.
They do. They do.
So we'll check in with you probably late May, early June. And if you get new polling, let us know, Doug. And it's always a privilege. It really is. I don't use that word a lot, but you're one of our mainline guests, and we really appreciate it. Thanks for coming on. By now, you have heard me talk about Delta Rescue. They are a fantastic organization that helps rescue animals from the wilderness. You know I'm a dog lover, so is Leo Grillo, the founder of Delta Rescue. It is his life's mission to provide everlasting care for these once abandoned animals. I myself have donated to Delta Rescue. Do you believe it is part of man's duty to care for dogs and horses, the animals that so much of our history is tied to? If so, please consider making a donation or consult your advisor about leaving a gift in your will or trust. There can be some tax advantages, and it's a great way to help Delta Rescue accomplish their mission. So please visit deltarescue.org to learn more. That's deltarescue.org. Okay, Kevin Cheney leads off the mail segment, bill@BillO'Reilly.com, name and town. Again, a lot of people are not putting those name and town. I can't use the letters. I can use them if I know the name and town, and you just say, use just my name or my first name or whatever. I can do that. Concierge and premium members, I can just use your first name because we know you. But if you're just writing, you got to tell me who you are. Kevin Cheney, Earlysville, Virginia. Bill, you imply this evening that President Biden has never taken a lead on any issue. Challenge your viewers to name one. Biden was the lead in driving the ill-conceived and poorly executed withdrawal from Afghanistan by U.S. troops. Number one, I never imply anything, Kevin. I say. I don't imply. That's a waste of your time, implication. Number two, the withdrawal from Afghanistan was not a policy. It was an event. Okay? We were talking about policies, problems this country has. Now, you can make a case that we had a problem in Afghanistan, but okay. But that's not what we're talking about here. We're talking about making things better in the United States. Rich Howlier, Simpsonville, South Carolina. Biden has led on the student loan issue. That was a stunt. That was not a pressing problem for most Americans, and the Supreme Court ruled it illegal. Okay? But Biden did, and I got a couple of letters to this effect, take the lead on lowering some prescription drug prices, capping them. And I should have mentioned that. That's good. Charles, I did not know Israel offered a ceasefire deal to Hamas. That's big news, and it should have been reported more widely. Certainly, this offer should have been broadcast on America's college campuses. Good job, O'Reilly. Well, that's why we're in business. Okay? The progressive left media doesn't want you to know that. They don't want that. That's why you didn't hear about it. Tim McSherry, Manhattan Beach, California. Hey, Tim, I hope you're going to the Shellback Tavern, one of my favorite places when I'm out there. Howard Stern did the interview with Biden because he hates Donald Trump, despite being friends with him for years and having him on his show almost monthly. Yeah, okay. I mean, I'm sure there were plenty of motivations for whatever he did. Bob Crawford, Wildwood, Florida. Hey, Bill, you are without a doubt one of the brightest men I've ever listened to. Question, is the BBC a liberal news agency? Yes. The liberal culture at the BBC is obvious in almost every broadcast. Maureen, Colin Jost is cut from the same cloth as Steve Colbert, not funny, condescending. I disagree. I think Jost is very good comic writer, and that Weekend Update, that usually is fairly humorous. Colbert, his talent escapes me totally. Elizabeth, I usually enjoy Joust on SNL. Look forward to some laughs at the correspondents' dinner. Didn't happen. Biden did a campaign speech. Jokes about Trump were far too easy. Yeah, I mean, it was a gang up, no doubt about it. Maurice, concierge member, so Maurice can get travel anytime he wants. Bill, they can have all the correspondents' dinners they want as long as I don't have to pay the bill. Congress should defund it. The government has doesn't pay for the correspondents' dinner. That's an association. You have to pay dues to it. Government has nothing to do with it. So, Anna, concierge member. Thank you, Anna. Stop watching the news media, including Fox. Now I get my news from the No Spin News ever since I became a concierge member because I trust you will be fair and honest. I will be. I have no reason not to be. Okay? So if you want to spin it that way. Cindy Keegan, Daytona Beach, Florida. I just started reading Killing the Witches. Love it. I visited Salem 15 years ago. And now, after reading the book, I'm going to go back. You'll see Salem in a totally different light. And those gallows are still there behind a CVS. Okay. Graduation coming up. If you know somebody graduating and they're not a immediate family member, we want to give a substantial gift. Give them a self-reliance mug. Give those urchins graduating high school and college a self-reliance mug. And I go, what? Hey, come on. And these mugs, and the not woke mugs, put them up there, please, are flying out of here for Mother's and Father's Day, but the graduates should get them too. All right, these are very popular for us. We got a lot of good mom and dad gifts. Please go to the BillO'Reilly.com store. Word of the day, I'm a Cretin, C-R-E-T-I-N. Interesting word, Greek, off the island of Crete. Back with Kristi Noem in a moment. MyPillow is having a huge spring sale. Buy one MyPillow 2.0, get another one free. These pillows are made with cooling technology that you'll love. And this just in, they're percale bed sheets made with the finest long staple cotton, are now available in 9 brand new colors and styles. Plus, you can save 50% or more. That's as low as $24.98 a set. The deals don't end there. You can get their slippers and sandals for just $25 a pair. So please visit mypillow.com, use the promo code BILL, or call 1-800-869-0298 to get these amazing savings before they're gone. And for a limited time, when you order $75 or more, your entire order ships free. That's mypillow.com, code BILL. As another critical election nears, America is gripped by anxiety. Recent studies show that 56% are feeling dread about the upcoming presidential vote in November. That's why I stand with AMAC. It's more than a senior discount organization. AMAC fights for common sense and a return to traditional American values. Visit amac.us/O'Reilly to grab an exclusive election year special, a 4-year AMAC membership for just $30. Members get access to money-saving benefits, the AMAC magazine, free Social Security and Medicare advice, a trusted voice in Washington, and a community of like-minded patriots. Take advantage of this election year special. 4 years for just $30. Be a part of the solution. By joining AMAC, you strengthen a movement dedicated to preserving our cherished principles. Please join now at amac.us/O'Reilly. That's amac.us/O'Reilly. So here's the final thought of the day. We went over this yesterday, but I can't believe that Governor Noem put in her book, which is coming out next week, now going back, that she shot her 14-month-old wire-hair terrier dead. Cricket was executed in a gravel pit by the governor. Why would you put that in a book? I mean, I'm stunned. The book process goes through rewrites, editing, publishers look at it. If she has an agent, he or she should have looked at it. If she has anybody advising her, they should have looked at the manuscript. Well, I don't know, Governor. Killing a dog, I don't know. It doesn't matter if it was justified or what. Americans are not going to delve into the story. They're going to go, whoa. So this is one of the biggest political mistakes I've ever seen. Here's what they said on Fox. Go.
I have 4 rescues, and I have a puppy. I got to tell you, what she's done is she's sabotaged herself, whether or not it was to, buttress what was coming down the road. But she also managed to unite the right and the left.
Well, not exactly. Here's MSNBC.
I'm tough. Right. I'm mean.
I'm murder puppies.
I'm an SOB. I'll even kill a little puppy if it gets in my way. I mean, I think that's the sickest part of this, that Donald Trump's Republican Party and the grotesqueness of the conservative movements.
So Trump and the conservatives did it. Is that, I mean, really, do you watch, only 1 million people watch that show. I mean, on MSNBC, that's like, yay, but that's all. But I'm going, so Trump and the conservatives are responsible for little crickets getting shot in the head. I mean, I hate to laugh about it, but I don't know what to say. I really don't know what to say anymore. But I'll continue blabbing. And we are very glad you have joined us tonight for the No Spin News. I'm Bill O'Reilly. We'll see you again tomorrow. Thank you for watching the No Spin News. To watch the full episode anytime on BillO'Reilly.com, please sign up to become a premium or concierge member. Visit BillO'Reilly.com to sign up and start watching today.